Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome on a Saturday show. I'm thrilled to see some of you here. I wasn't sure how many people would actually show up because it's so different, but you're wonderful. And oh, Marcia was the first person here. Debbie's back, and Mary, and Carol, and Laura. That is great to see you. Hello, hello, hello. So I guess I'll start right off with our blocks of the week. And we're coming along. We're officially halfway there. So I fixed my block from last time. And let me tell you what I had to do. When you try to take out stitches on the paper, it's a mess. And the paper tears and everything. So you know what I did? I just got printed out 2 new blocks and I redid it. And actually I used the fabric. I think I was able to use all of the fabric. But now here is our 6th block. And I will make sure to have this on the site. And I thought I was going to have to do 2 blocks for you this week, but I realized I'll be here next week too. So this is this week's block. It's called the Cactus Star. Isn't it cute? Isn't that cute? And easy, easy, easy to do. So easy. And I'm liking using, you know how I told you I had 3 different fabrics for each of the colors. I'm liking using that because it gives it a little more sparkle. Patricia's here. Oh, wow. Oh, good for you. What are you having for dinner? I'll take some. So anyway, but I will put this on the website. And this is block number 6. And it's called the Cactus Snowball. The Cactus Snowball. Isn't that cute? So thank you to Wombat Quilts from wonderful, wonderful Australia. And to Kathy, who is a wonderful designer. Isn't that great? So love it, love it, love it. So let me hang it back up here. And if you notice, there may be a sneak peek at block number 7. So we are halfway there, everybody. What did I do with the pins I took off here? Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Sometimes I forget where I put a pin, and that's not good. So, whoops. All right, here we go. So here are our 6 blocks so far. We're halfway to a Christmas top. So I'm so excited. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm designing the sashing and border system that you can use for that. You can always go straight sashing and border to make it fast, but I thought it might be fun to do sashing and border with little stars in it. Maybe that's too much, but the way that I've seen to do them, you're making long strips, so you don't have to make a whole bunch of little stars. It's just you take and add a square to your sashing strip that then folds, or you sew it on the diagonal, then it folds, and let me close the shade just a touch. The sun gets in my eyes and makes it very hard to concentrate. Okay, whoops, okay. So the way I'm doing it, you're going to have a little strip, and at the end, you put a square, you sew it on the diagonal, you flip it over, and that's one of the spokes for the stars. So I'm going to try to make it easy, but I'll do it 2 ways. A straight way, make it nice and simple, and just do cornerstones, easy peasy. And then for some of y'all who would like to jazz it up, since it's so much focused on stars, I thought how cool to have stars in between all of the blocks with the sashing. And So I will have that pattern. I should have it ready for you next week too. So I'm excited because we are getting there, girls. And don't forget this little half one that's hanging over crooked. That's the preview of the 7th block. So I'm hoping you're finding that these are really made much easier by paper piecing. Because let me tell you, paper piecing is the way to go anytime you have lots of points and lots of things that look complicated. And even if you've been quilting over 30 years like me, you still make mistakes like I did last week with the turning star. So you're still going to make mistakes. And if you're worried about where does she get all of those colors, how does that come together? Remember, this is my sashing and border fabric. So it's going to pull everything together. In fact, it'll pull it all together. So, okay, I'm hoping I have enough good red that I'll do my stars with. I'm thinking, I haven't decided yet to do red stars or green stars. But that red sure pops, doesn't it? All righty. So I will make sure that I put on the group's IO. I will make sure to put on the group's IO. Jeannie's here. Hi, sweetie. I will make sure to put on the group's IO the pattern and the coloring page. You know how I give you a grade block so you can go in and kind of put your colors in there and give it a shot before you commit to fabric? But if you aren't a member of our group's IO, but you'd like to join in, please send me an email at ourtime to quilt@twc.com. So, and I am pretty darn good in getting back to you by email. So just this week, I might be a little touch busy, but I will get to you and send the patterns to you by email. Okay? It is so good to see Jeannie here. We missed her. All right. So this week, I want to show you the pattern. And see, I took the gray mock-up and I started playing with different colors to try to figure out how do I want to put my fabric. It's so much easier than trying to cut up fabric and then all of a sudden you go, oh no, I don't like the way it looks. Here is the pattern. And I thought I'm not going to sew it for you today. I think I've done so many, you're probably bored with them. But also, I think you can figure it out pretty good. Now, you will notice that the number one position changes from time to time, but just follow what she did. I followed these exactly. This one is one that came straight from Kathy at Wombat Quilts. I did not adjust this in any way, and it works beautifully if you follow the numbers. Okay, so when you get this pattern, you need to make 4 copies of this page, and that will give you enough to make the block. So it couldn't be easier. I tell you, the other day I came down, and within an hour at the most, I had the block made. So it's well worth it, and I'm already halfway there to next week's block. So enjoy. It's just a fun thing that we can do together. And get excited about Christmas coming. I just looked out the windows and I'm finally starting to see fall colors on the trees. That gets me so excited. I'm ready to be done with summer. I want winter. I want to cozy up and have a long evening to do hand sewing. And I'm really looking forward to that. So, okay. I was hoping I would have my pumpkin quilt done for you this week. I didn't work on it at all. I meant to, but I didn't, and I apologize. Vicki Robles is here. Hi, sweetie. Tried to sign on, but was Aw, okay. Hi. No, you're just barely late. We've just been talking about our blocks of the week, and we're halfway to a Christmas quilt. That's so exciting. So, hello, Dolores. Oh, it's so good to see Dolores. So, and today, don't tell anybody, but I have a sneak preview of the quilt show um, that I judged a couple weeks ago. And I'll be right back. Hold on just a second. Something's driving me nuts, and I better fix it or it's going to keep driving me nuts. Okay. Hold on. Let me get this. It's so terrible, but I'm so easily distracted. You know how easily distracted I am. My hair was doing something weird, and it kept catching my eye in the laptop, and I couldn't concentrate. So, whoops, now see, it's doing something weird again. So, sometimes our hair just doesn't play by the rules. But anyway, so I'm getting excited now because I've got a retreat coming up, and I didn't know if I'd be able to go, but luckily, thank goodness, they put a rule in that you have to show your vaccination card to be able to come into the group. I'm so happy. And besides that, even, they're making you wear a mask when you move around, when you leave your little area, when you use the restroom, when you go up to stand in line to get your food. And small price to pay to be together and to actually sew and have fun. So I'm very excited about that. And the best news of all is I will qualify for my booster after the 23rd of this month. So I'm going to make sure to run right in, get my booster, and then it'll be ready for November's retreat. And I'm very excited. All righty. So everything's doing pretty good here. Let's see if I turn that light on. Hopefully it won't interfere too much. But I did put in a fabric order. I think I told you. Oh, let me make sure. Melissa's here. Oh my gosh, it's so good seeing all of you. I was wondering, I thought I might have to do a show to thin air. Oh my goodness. My chat got hung up, and look at all of this. This is wonderful. It is so, and I love you chatting. Don't ever think you're being rude at all, because when you chat while I'm talking, that's what I want. This is, it's a chance for everybody. I call it a virtual quilting bee. And it's a chance for everybody to come in and talk to everybody else and make new friends. And because you can always, if you miss something I say, just you rerun it later and do it again. But so good to see you. So I think I told you the other week that I have a grandnephew born, and I'm so excited. So, well, what happens when there's a new baby in the family? You have to go fabric shopping. And Mark kind of laughed at me because I was telling him about how careful we're being on the budget since we had to put a new air conditioning system in a few weeks ago. And I said, but I had to buy some fabric for a new baby quilt. He laughed like, you're worried about being on a budget? But I said, you don't understand. When a baby comes along, you want to get some baby fabric. I don't keep baby fabric on hand. That's nothing. It's something I only buy when a new baby's coming or gets born. So I had to go shopping. And this time I went to my wonderful Pineapple Fabrics. And look at this cute baby print. Let me make sure I've got it the right. Oops, it is upside down. So let me show you. The baby's parents have traveled all around the world. They're photographers. And so I said, I want to pick something that's sweet and gentle, but still a little more sophisticated. And but I'm so excited. The little boy's name is Levi. So I will be making this quilt for him. So I got this. Okay, let me show you what I got. Sonia's here. Hi, sweetheart. So I got this is my focus fabric. And for some of you who don't know, focus fabric is a fabric you choose that really it leads you into what colors, the feel of the quilt, the personality of the quilt. So I have this as my focus fabric. Then I picked out this to go with it. I looked at the colors and you never pick the exact colors in it. If you do, the quilt will fall a little flat. So make sure you pick a lighter or darker to go with it. And one is a little light, one is a little dark. The color is in between. It works really good. And then this is part of the same collection as that. So this is what I have. Now, these are nice, sweet, gentle colors, but I'm going to need a little excitement in there. So what I need to decide is, do I find some yellow from my stash, or do I get some orange from my stash? What do I get to give it that little pop? So I will be auditioning fabrics, and how I audition fabrics is I lay everything out and put new ones in and just kind of trust your eye to say, yep, that's the right one, or nope, that doesn't quite work. And all of these colors are slightly grayed down, so I will keep that in mind. So anyway, I've got a quilt to hurry up and get done. So now, while I was there, well, I am a Deb, but while I was there, I said, let me see what else is on sale. So, while I'm paying shipping, might as well get a little more. I found this neutral, and I loved it. I am really starting to enjoy different neutrals, and this is gorgeous. So I got a couple yards of that, and it was on sale. Pineapple Fabrics has the best sales. Oh, and they're going to have a special open house sale in November. I can't wait. So I might, I should have my booster. I'll put on a mask, and I can go. I haven't been there since before the pandemic hit. So this was also on sale, and I have always loved. This is a Morris. This is a Morris pattern. Whoops, upside down. This is a Morris pattern. And Morris was a famous wallpaper designer during the turn of the 20th century, when they used to have all of the craftsman era houses, and they believed in earthy tones and earthly subjects. Everything, they had the Victorian era right before that, where everything was over the top. Well, then when they ushered in the craftsman period, you have the mission furniture, you have Frank Lloyd Wright styles, housing styles, very organic. And then this man designed wallpapers. And I saw this. I've been looking at his fabric for quite a while. And finally I said, I'm going to buy a piece of it. And I bought this because it was on sale, number one, but also it has a plum background, plum. And a couple years ago when I went to retreat, always have a yard sale table. Somebody had put a collection of fat quarters all in the plum ranges. They had put that on the table, and I snapped it up. And I've not known what to do with those plum fat quarters. Well, guess what? Both of these go beautifully together. And so I'm going to put them together with my collection of plum fat quarters. And I can add some of these blue greens in and I'll have a lovely quilt. So I'm excited about that. And now I'll be good and not buy any more for another while. But I'll tell you what, it's so hard. Sometimes I'll see a collection because I get all these emails looking for free patterns for y'all and everything. And it's so hard when I see a beautiful new collection. Now let me see what y'all are talking about. Oh, Sarah is here. Hi, beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's wonderful. Flu's gone. Cold just finishing. Migraine. Oh, those migraines are a mess. Ah, very, very, very good. So it's good to see Sarah. How are those babies, Miss Sarah? And let me see. Oh, and Mark and I each got our flu shot. So he just got his yesterday when he went to the doctor. It was like, whoa. So he's trying to take it easy today best he can. Melissa, a heavy downpour. Wow. We had really good rain a week and a half ago, and now we're kind of going through a drought again, but I love a good rain. Raindrops, just wants to put you to sleep. This hair is driving me crazy. I'm going to be right back again because I got to do something with it. Hold on. I'll let you look at the blocks while I try to get this hair under some kind of control. I tell you what happened is I took my shower late today, and so I didn't have a chance to style it the way I wanted. So I'm kind of just doing the best I can because I was running a little late. And so for the moment, it's staying still. But I have very thin, hair that doesn't want to hold any kind of shape. So I have to use the Aquanet. I'll show you. I have to use this is heavy duty stuff. The Ultra Hold. Oh, no, wait a minute. It's extra super hold. Wow. But just regular hairspray doesn't do it for me. But anyway, so that's the problem I have. So a lot of times now I find that I have to use a little styling mousse because otherwise it just flops over. Like, gee. So anyway, all right. So I showed you the new fabric. And I think I showed you too. Do y'all remember? You might not remember if you're newer here, but I made this, probably 3 years ago. And I love this thing. So let me show you a little bit about it because I can give you a few hints to make it. Okay, what this is a Pringles can. And actually, to make it long enough, I did 2 cans and kind of made it into one long one. Okay? Now, I had some wonderful heavy tapestry fabric that I took and glued and made a nice long piece like this. Then inside, I stitched flannel. And this, I've been working on my LaFleur again because this is going to be a beautiful quilt. Miss Bonnie showed us this and I love it. So this time I put a couple layers of the flannel so that it gives little separation for finished blocks or unfinished. And it's like having pages in a book. So here we go. And here are the pieced blocks before they're appliqued. So I kind of stretch these out over the length so I don't get any big bulky areas. Here's a little extra fabric that I'm carrying just to make sure that I will have enough. But I love having the extra flannel pieces in this because it just keeps everything. I mean, look how nicely it keeps that. All right, so now put this last page back and then lay the one that I am currently working on. It's got my needle in it. And so now I roll this back up. Now, let me show you the fun thing about using one of these tubes. Now, you can use a postage mailing tube. You can use, and see how I just glued some fabric on the end, but you see the Pringles lid? And look at all the stuff that I can carry in this. So I can take all of the tools that I need. Here are the appliques pre-cut, ready to go on the quilt. The little shapes pre-cut. So I've got enough here to do a few blocks before I have to cut some more fabric. But let me get this. And somewhere I've got some of this pattern that if you ever decide you want to, I'll see if I can find it. And because what I did is I looked at the picture and I drew all the different pieces. But I'm going to put the applique back in there. Then I have my favorite thimble. And the reason this is my favorite thimble is because if you have fingernails, it has an open side so that you can work with long fingernails. Also, you can drop it. You put a cup of water. You put a cup of water in the microwave and boil it for 2 minutes. Take it out, drop this in it, let it sit in there for about 30 seconds. Just count to 30. And then carefully fish it out with something so you don't burn yourself. And then put it on your finger. Let it cool on your finger, and it will size itself so perfectly that then I have been known to hop in a shower to wash my hair and realize I've got the thimble on. And it's a Dritz, my favorite kind, but any of the plastic that can be sized to fit on your finger. This is my very favorite thimble. And I use that for hand quilting, anything, because it has nice indentations on the end. And it has wonderful grooves on the side. So you can use sideways to do your hand quilting. So this is my favorite thimble. Then a glue stick to help hold the applique in place. A little piece of a broken tailor's chalk in case I need to mark it where the appliques go. A nice comfortable pair of scissors. And needles. And here is, I have some Super Glide Milner needles and some straw needles. And those are probably my favorites. I also have some applique just in case I need something a little stiffer. And then I have the colors of silk thread. I have this is YLI silk. I have the colors that I need to put those appliques on. Okay, so I'll put those back in. Then a hair scrunchie just in case. And here is a wonderful soft rubbery, it's finger cot, C-O-T. And you put it on your finger and it helps grip the needle. So sometimes when you're doing sewing through different layers, especially if it's several layers, it will give you a little fight. Then I have these dots. They're wonderful. They're sticky dots. When you take one off and put it on your finger, that will also help you grab the needle. Then I have a small seam ripper. I have some beeswax and some thread heaven. So by the time I have all of that, and let me put this back on. I had to make sure, though, I wanted it to fit more snug, so I wrapped the fabric over the edge. So by the time I put this on, it will hold on pretty good. And then I sewed the ribbon on the end. Whoops. Well, I said it goes on pretty good, but it just popped off. Let me You have to get it over all that fabric. And then I sewed a nice grosgrain, because you can do it, you can really tug on grosgrain. And a nice grosgrain ribbon that I tied to keep it all wrapped up. And then there it is. I'm ready to go. And I can take it with me anywhere and sew on it. And I have everything I need. So I thought I would show you that, because sometimes it's nice to keep those things ready to go. And if you go to visit your grandchildren, I'm missing the chat. Hold on. If I can't see chat, what am I supposed to do? This has happened before, and I don't know why. I don't know if I moved. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, I might have to go on talking without the chat. I forgot how to get it back. Sometimes I can figure it out, and sometimes I can't. Let me see. The channel. Oh, I hate when this happens. Oh, well, I can't see you right now. I am very, very sorry, but I want to make sure you're there. Let me get this out of the way, turn that off, because I've got some great photos and some video to show you. Hold on just a second. Let me see something. I hate when this happens, and I don't know what's doing it. Well, okay. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do, because it's very, very hard to talk without being able to see you. Very hard. Let me see. I really depend on your chatting. I really depend on that. Okay. Okay, now you're back. There's your chatting. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. All right. Now I at least see what you're saying. And let's go and let me show you your photos, okay? All right, here we go. And as of right now, I'm still off on the Thursday night art quilts, but I will be coming back pretty soon. I miss you guys on Thursday nights, and I have to plan a couple of ideas, things to do. Now, let me see. Try to get this straightened back up. All right, here we go. Let's see. All right. Alberta sent me a couple more pictures today, and I'm so tickled to see them. Do you see? Isn't this cute? This is I showed you this last week. She made this for two of her grandchildren, and I love them. This says, "Boo, how cute." Then Alberta took her selvages and made a wonderful placemat and did all kinds of quilting practice on it, which is a wonderful idea. And then she made this nude. She made this for her daughter, and I think that is so cute. It's a cute little ghost, bright colors, beautiful. Then Look at this. She entered this in one of her local quilt shows. She got an honorable mention. That's wonderful. That wonderful color wheel with a beautiful rooster on it because he probably has all of those colors on him. That's lovely. Way to go, Miss Alberta. I have yet to ever win a ribbon. So way to go, girlfriend. All right, now let's see. Oh, B sent the cutest thing. She has been working on a landscape, and she was having trouble getting some daisies sewn. The fabric was too thick, and the fusible on the back. So she printed out these tiny little daisies and printed them out, and now she's coloring them, and then she's going to applique them on. That's beautiful. Thank you for sending that to us. But this shows a great way. What do you do when you start to have a problem? You reach a point where you can't go any further. What should you do? And she proves you just start again. So that is wonderful. A new way. All right, let's see what else we have. Miss Bonnie, I showed you this last week, but it's such a good one. It deserves a second look. Here is Miss Bonnie's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful log cabin quilt. Isn't this super? I love it. Love that log cabin. Okay. And here is Miss Carol. Look at her beautiful blocks. I'm so excited to see how this quilt turns out. Her fabric is gorgeous. Look at all of this. I think it elevates the block to new levels. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So we can't wait to see what's coming next in Miss Carol's quilt, because that is just beautiful. Then we have Charlene Lawson, and I'll show you again her wonderful Spinning Spools Alex Anderson quilt that she's working on. She also did the Ricky Timms Kaleidoscope. So she's a busy lady. And then here's one more look at her son's ring bearer pillow from his wedding. I think it was just 2 weeks ago. So that was a wonderful day. And how nice to make an heirloom, a family keepsake for the wedding. Then Charlotte Piper, I just wanted to show you one more time her wonderful quilt here with the lighthouse and the rocky cliff. And this is the one that we did in our most recent project that we did on Art Quilt Thursdays. And it is beautiful. Just 3 basic elements, and that's wonderful. Way to go, Charlene Piper. I'll get it right. Just give me a moment. All right. Then I'll come back to mine because I have some videos to show you, but I want to show you again. This will probably be our last visit with Debbie Holt's beautiful, beautiful Mountain Lake quilt. I just love it. I love all of her thread painting down in here. Just beautiful. Nice texture. All right, let's see who's next. Miss Dolores, who happens to be here with us today. Look at these wonderful, wonderful aprons. And they're, what do you call it when you can turn it inside out? They're a dual-sided apron, but there's a specific term that I've lost the word for. Reversible. There we go. Okay, it came to me, just took a moment. And look at her Christmas block of the week. They are beautiful, beautiful. Isn't that nice? It's so wonderful, so gratifying seeing some of you working on these. I know not everyone has time, I understand. All right, so then I chatted with Miss Jeannie the other day, and she showed me her city quilt that she worked on. That's beautiful. Okay, and then the next photo, she shows you the back and shows you that she did the quilting by outlining the buildings. That makes an interesting back too, because it's almost like shadow buildings. All right. Miss Jody has been very busy with her Christmas blocks, and here is her collection. Very, very nice. And I'm always amazed to see what just the fabric choices, the different fabric choices make. Beautiful. Okay. Now, Kathleen Ziegler, I want to visit one more time. She's working on her moon glow. Way to go, Miss Kathleen. That is wonderful. Maybe come the new year, I will start on mine. Way to go. All right. Then Miss Kim Hicks. Oh boy, did she show us something exciting. She's been working on her crumb blocks. Isn't that cool? And look at the dark gray neutral that she used. That's really sharp looking. I think that's going to make a fabulous quilt. Okay. And let's see. Then we're thinking of Miss Linda Mccollum, and there's her cutie little mouse. I just love that little fellow. She made him by felting it, hand felting. That's beautiful. All right. Lisa, I wanted to show one more time. This is fingernail polish and alcohol art. And isn't she talented? How neat to think of that. And you know what? Any way you can find to express your creativity is a good thing. Okay? Now, let's see. That was Miss Lisa. Miss Mary. Let's see Miss Mary's Christmas blocks. They're coming along very, very good. I love these. And I love all the different fabrics. It's wonderful. And look how, I don't know if she fussy cut these on purpose or if it worked out that way, but how pretty is that? I love that. I never thought of fussy cutting something for that. Maisie Hush. All right, so that was Miss Mary's. Then Miss Melanie finished her iris quilt. It's ready to go to the quilters, and it's just beautiful. She had to try to figure out, how do I fit all of these different size blocks together to make a cohesive quilt? And it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Way to go. Way to go, Miss Melanie. I know that was years of dedication. Then we're going to show you one more chance at a couple of Miss Melissa's quilts. I just love this. That is a wonderful landscape. Very graphic. It works. And then look, this came from a photo. She asked the artist permission. He granted it, and look at the wonderful job she's done on that. Look at all of the jewels and the quilting. It's just beautiful. Then this is a quilt she did from her father's photo, a photograph, a portrait of him. Look at this. This is such a nice, wonderful, traditional, with the center, a little artistic version of wildflowers. Just beautiful. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Just beautiful. I like it very much. All right. So now I'm going to go to Miss Nadine's, and I'm going to do a quick little, this is from her trip last week. She went to Castle. Oh boy, I was afraid I would forget. Let me see. Hold on just a second. I told myself not to forget. Robinstein. Rabenstein. Pardon me. Castle Rabenstein. Oops. Sorry. Hold on. Let me do this again. I might have confused the computer. Love that old tree. Beautiful. This castle was first made in the early 12th century, and they had a medieval festival going on during this. Whoops. Doesn't that look like it's just melting? That's odd. All right, let me see. Hold on 1 second. And there is a way. There we go. There we go. So put on a little slideshow. So the castle has been rebuilt a couple times due to wars and people burning them down. But this is such a charming, charming village. I love the cobblestone streets. There's such history in Europe. It's just absolutely beautiful. So Miss Nadine and her husband went to see this, and she actually ended up buying some beautiful pieces of stoneware. But isn't that just gorgeous? And here they had tradespeople set up in costume, reenactors. So they love it as much as we do. And she called it a Middle Ages fair. We would probably call it a Renaissance fair. Although we never had a Renaissance here, but they definitely had one in Europe. Look at this bellows. And I love the hand carved on this holder of the bellows. It's absolutely beautiful. What fun. Look at this ancient tower. Isn't that neat? And that really looks like an old style bagpipe. And here are the pieces of stoneware she bought while she was there. They're beautiful. Look at that bowl cup. And she bought a bird feeder. Isn't that wonderful? Now she'll have something to remember that fun day with. So way to go, Miss Nadine. I'm so glad that you and your hubby went to do something fun. Okay, now let me push escape. Get out of that. That was wonderful. Love it, love it. All right, I think, oh, no, got something from Miss Pat in Nova Scotia. She has been diligently working on a cross stitch, and all of this is cross stitch. I don't know if you can see the faint outline, and everywhere you can see the picture, it's because it's been cross stitched. That is a lot of work. Way to go. All right, who else do I have? I've got Miss Polly has been working with her ink tints, and look at this pretty picture. Very good job. She's trying to get the feel of how to work, and it's just wonderful. And that's the best way to start out. Just take it a little bit at a time to get used to what does the ink tints do. And then you can take water, or I prefer a textile medium, and make that color bloom. The reason I use textile medium is because it's a little thicker and it keeps the color from seeping out of the areas you want it. Now, Miss Sandra Thiel, and she lives up in Nova Scotia and on a compound, I think. I've forgotten what it's called. But it's wonderful, and she barters for different things. Look at this huge bag of wonderful potatoes. And she's out in the beautiful woodlands of Canada. I love these fungi that are growing on this dead tree. They are beautiful. So how nice to have this right outside her door. Wonderful. And then she's showing me some, I think it was rainbow trout that she had bartered for. She has 150 pounds of it in her freezer. So that's what I call living well off the land. That's wonderful. So thank you, Miss Sandra, and we'd love to see more. We love seeing what people are doing and how people live and what makes them happy. All right, now I'll go back to mine. I think I've gotten everyone's, and right here. Okay, so we'll start out. That's my current LaFleur block I'm working on. Then Mark went to the beach. In fact, I wish I could find. I need to find. He has a movie to show you where he just was a movie watching the sunset, and it's just so beautiful. And then here is our American beautyberry bush out front. It has the most wonderful purple berries on it. I call it my Dr. Zeus bush because it's just so different. And it's a good source for birds and wildlife. And I took these to show my daughter because her husband and son keep forgetting and cutting hers down before it gets the purple berries. So I wanted to share the berries with her. Isn't that pretty? Then my son sent this to me. How cute is this? It's called the masked, I can't say that word today, right? The Masked Singer. And I don't know if you've ever seen that show on TV where they bring somebody in who entertains while in a mask so they can try to figure out who it is. But how cute. Someone put a mask on their singer and then said, there we go. Isn't that cute? I love stuff like that. It just makes me smile. Here is a photo where I took 2 quilts for a demo when I went to judge the Stories of the Stitch. And I love seeing a little girl enjoying seeing my flamingos. And then I saw this on, I believe it was a pineapple ad email, and I just thought it was so charming. I wanted to show you that. Then here is one of the photographs from the quilt. And this was all hand done, hand quilted. And let me see. Oh, National Sewing Month, but I think that ended a couple days ago. But it's, you know what? Let's just keep it year round. Whoops. Hold on. I got to go back. This is my daughter, Katie. I showed you last week. Well, look what she's done with her front porch. Isn't that gorgeous? I think she's ready for a magazine cover. Isn't that just beautiful? And I love how she got the bluish gourds so it echoes her front door. A very talented girl, that Katie. She's a felt artist, and she truly has an eye for things. Then her and her husband went on a little mini getaway. This is an ancient house from the 1780s, I think she said. And it was an inn, and they stayed there. And then here's another historic house near a battlefield. I'm trying to remember, but it was probably, I think it was one of those places that Washington stayed here. So that is neat. Now, let me see. I'm going to show you the video. Let me see. Yeah, I guess this is it. Okay. Here is the video of the Stories of the Stitch. And this is unedited. It's just so that you can see some of the wonderful quilts. When I get it edited, I'll put it on the site permanently. There was a lot of beautiful, beautiful work. This was fussy cut to perfection. This one, viewer's choice. A lot of talented people. And unfortunately, I didn't have time to get up close shots of some of this, but there's a quilt coming up that was so phenomenal. And you might wonder why I chose this as the winner. The quilting is absolutely phenomenal. I wish you could see it. I just never seen something like that in my life. A wonderful woman named Ashley from near Galax, Virginia made that. She made a lot of these in this show. Very talented woman. I'm hoping we'll see her on a national stage. Very, very talented. But I ran out of time this year. There were 50 some quilts in the show, and that took a long time to judge. A long time. Amazing quilting on that one, too. All of these, just amazing. I want to thank Mark, who went around and took the video of all of these quilts. That has some gorgeous quilting as well. Every time I see quilts from a quilt show, it gets me excited because I want to get busy and make something else, make something new. There's just so much amazing work. This one, The Stories of the Stitch, and Mark and I chose this as the winner because you pick one quilt that has the best story. This woman made over 600 face masks during the worst of the COVID pandemic. This quilt is made with all the scraps of the fabric that she cut out, but she used her own stash and made them just because there was a great need. And I thought, if that story doesn't win the day, I don't know what story would. So she makes quilters look very special. That's the best kind of quilter I know. And there were some lovely, lovely quilts. I kind of had a surprise when I chose the best of the next category. I mean, there were some wonderful, wonderful quilts. I'll show you in just a moment. The one, I mean, this applique was amazing, amazing. But this is the one I chose out of that line. And you might think, but why? Well, number one, the person who did it dedicated the quilt to dogs because dogs got us through. For so many of us, our pets got us through the pandemic. And they took on more importance than anybody would have ever known. And this woman handled that subject so beautifully. The quilt was so perfectly made. I love how it breached into the side border. The quilting was amazing. And I just loved her creativity. She did an outstanding job. So that's why I chose her. Even with some of the other amazing works, there was such heart and love that came through that quilt. And you know what? Sometimes that is what will turn your head. So very, very happy for her and love, love, love the job she did. No. Two other people. No. I got that's my main. And this one, I chose this one because she hand dyed all of her wool for that quilt. And I was very, very impressed that she not only designed it, but she dyed her wool and did an outstanding job. This was an antique quilt, so it won the oldest. And here was our one and only youth competitor. And I was very pleased, especially when I found out it was a little boy. So he got the ribbon for the youth category. There's some beautiful, beautiful quilting on both of these. Oh, good. Oh, good. Isn't that beautiful? This is painted fabric. And I chose this one for the winner because all of the color you see is by thread painting. It was so beautiful, so amazingly done. The jewels were just the right touch. It was absolutely exquisite, even though this was very beautiful. And you'll see a couple more. The same person did all four of these, but that one, to me, really stood out. This is all fabric thread painting also. So that is the stories of the stitch. Whoops. That was the stories of the stitch for this year. All right, let me see if I'm going to be able to get y'all back. I don't know. I need to find out why in the world. I don't know. I need to find out. Let me go. Hold on just a second, everybody. I want to see if y'all are still there and everything's still fine. So I don't know why all of a sudden the chat just disappears. Okay, let me try to find you guys. Okay. All right, here we are. Let me just read and catch up. Sorry about this. I'm having to use two screens to see you guys. So, all righty. Wasn't that an amazing quilt show? It is so hard. I was exhausted at the end of it because trying to make so many different decisions. And when I saw the one with the dogs, quilting and judging a quilt contest has a measure of subjectiveness to it. But when I looked at how well balanced and how carefully she did every part of that quilt, it was standing right beside an amazing applique quilt. But when I looked at that, I felt something from that quilter in that quilt. And also, maybe it was after the year we've had and what our pups and our cats and what our pets did to get us through it, my heart just went, that's the one. And I have to be honest, she was so tickled. It almost made me cry. She did not expect it. It came out of the blue. I happened to see her, a lady down by the quilt, kind of going like this. And it was gratifying to see her reaction. And but maybe that was a heart choice. I made it from my heart, but I will stand by my decision. It made me happy, and it definitely made her happy. So I'm really tickled. All right, I think it's so funny. I've got two screens open, and one is just a couple seconds behind the other. So, okay. I think I am about done for today. I know this was a little bit of a short one on a different kind of day, but I've got a lot to do today. I will be back next Sunday, and I hope to have video of at the lake camping to show you, and that'll be a lot of fun. So I hope you end up having a very good week. Please do something to take care of you. You can't take care of other people unless you've taken care of yourself. So do something special. even if it's just sit down for a few minutes and think over all your blessings, or read a good book, or pick up a brand new quilt. Don't tell anybody you haven't finished that other one. Go ahead and just start on a new one. You can always go back to the other one. Do something just for you. I can't wait to see you next week too. And I will see you next Sunday. Take good care. I'll have the rest of Block 7 and the sashing and the border instructions you can choose from, because we're going to make it easy, quick, so we can get this quilt done for Christmas. All right, everybody, take really good care, and I will see you next week. Now, let me go run back real quick and go check, make sure you didn't say anything important that I needed to know. All right. Sarah, thank you again for coming. Jeannie, Debbie, oh my gosh, it's so good to see all of you. Mary, Laura, all of you. So have a great week. Do something good just for you. Bye-bye, everyone. Enjoy the fall. Enjoy this wonderful fall season. Bye-bye.